My rideshare friends, how are you today? Let's see who's out there. Rideshare Professor, saying hi to all Uber and Lyft drivers. How are you, my friends? Yes. So what is the topic today? Firstly, I find it rather alarming just watching the news on how many drivers are being hurt. Fights that break out in cars. The other day, a pregnant lady was stabbed. That totally broke my heart. And Uber and Lyft truly need to pay attention to this and implement things, especially in the background checks, maybe extra measures that they can build into the app, right? And improve this, because this is wrong, folks. Absolutely wrong. And I will be bringing this up on Sunday. On Sunday at 4 p.m., there's a big a get-together at in Burbank, where all the YouTubers, not all of them, but some of the top YouTubers are getting together to celebrate Kevin, the Apptrepreneur. Shout out to Kev. And I'm excited to join that party. It starts at 3 p.m. And let's see, who do we have in our room here? 26 people watching, that's good. Yeah, and we're going to be discussing quite a bit of stuff there from Burbank, California. And I will be appearing in the mobile Uber and Lyft truck that you see behind you. A whole website will be set up just for that. And I'm trying to see where there we go. Where's all the participants here? So I'm trying to find out where this little feed shows up on the side here. I'm doing this from my Mac for the first time, and this thing is a little bit unfriendly. I've got a regular computer and lots of phones, but streaming from a Mac is the first time I've done this. But there's no little message bar on the side to see who's there and what messages are coming in. So bear with me for a few seconds, my friends. Where is this? Let me. Little challenging here, my friends. She's like, what's Torsten doing wrong here? Unbelievable. Let me just see if I can pick this up on my phone. See what's happening. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. I see it now. Okay. Yes, thank you. So I'm seeing some messages come in on my phone here. For somehow I can't integrate the feed on this Mac, so I apologize for that. I am going to be streaming from the new rideshare truck on several occasions. I'm going to be inviting drivers in. I have a set questionnaire, my friends. I have 5 questions for every Uber driver, and there's a film studio built into this truck. I've spent a lot of money on this. And what do I want to achieve with the rideshare truck? And I'll get back to that party in Burbank in a second, but nice to see you. Silly Goose, hello, Professor. Greetings from Las Vegas. Roy Because you know what, guys? Let me tell you something. This here, reading this stream, connecting with real people around the country, this is one of the main reasons I did this truck, right? So I can drive around the country and meet with you in person. I've taken this year, 2019, more or less off to get to know the US, to get to know people around the US. I usually fly to 4 or 5 states where I have cars and fleets, but it's truly time for me to explore all the corners of the United States and meet drivers from everywhere. I get the most wonderful messages, the most wonderful emails, but I want to meet these people live in person. I want to see how you eat, breathe, sleep, the rideshare business. And this truck here is fully kitted out. I mean, I have everything on board. I have beds on board, computers, TV screens. I'm going to drive around, and I'm super, super, super excited to meet you guys. Let's see. What is 4,001 rides in 1.5 years? Timothy Neufeld. Well, shout out to you, buddy. Good going there. Just don't sleep in your car, my friend. That's the only thing. You don't want to carry toothpaste and shampoo with you in your car and work around the clock. That is not the objective. The objective is also to have a life here, right? So the rideshare truck, I'm going to be inviting in drivers, right? And I'm going to be, if they want to, make videos with them, and I'm going to be highlighting their code. I'm going to be actually promoting them. So it's an invite to come in my truck. It'll all go live. You will see exactly where the truck is, what location. It'll all be integrated, latitude, longitude. There'll be a whole separate website set up for this truck. And I hope to get more trucks on the road. I think I've saturated. I've gone as far as I can with leasing out cars, and I want to take on more responsibilities there. Now it's time to have some fun. Now it's time to meet real people, right? So on Sunday, I'm sure a lot of people will show up to that Burbank party. Shade Leaves, do you still rent SUVs out in LA area? Just to answer that one quickly, yes, I do. So if you want to, you can text me. My number is beneath. I also work with 2 other groups in LA. And if I don't have cars, I hook you up with Alex or Michael, or you can lease from me directly if you want to go into SUV or Lux, right? You have to be grandfathered in. As you know, that division now in LA is closed. It's closed up. So it's super, super hard to get in. So if you have your TCP, if you grandfathered in, you have those licenses and those cars, and you can turn those into leases. So yes, please hit me up on that one. So traveling around the country, people can step inside, right? It'll show you when I'm available or in the truck, and once in a while I may have another driver out there, but generally speaking, it'll be me in the truck meeting you guys, right? And if you want to get on camera, if it's your first time, if you want to discuss things, if you have questions, if you want to know how to up your game, talk to me about it. How to take that next step, or get rid of those frustrations in the current step, and then really amp it up and ramp it up a little bit, right? That's what I'm all about. I've looked at this business from every single possible angle, folks, and I can tell you there is money to be made. So for those naysayers, for those trolls who just say it's a whole lot of trash, I have news for you. You can make a lot of good money in this business if you go in with the right approach, right? Let me just read. Let's see, what do we have here? We have Roy Hollingshead. Lyft is driving me crazy. Does anyone have a link to the inspection form? Roy, you can find them on, they're on Amazon, the inspection forms. You can Google them. Just make sure it's the inspection form for your state. I know that California has separate inspection forms. A lot of the Pep Boys also offer inspections on for Lyft. Miguel, how are you, buddy? Pork Because, hi there. Nice to see. Hey, eucalyptus oil is the best. Jason Sharkey, I could not agree more. Those tiny little bottles, $6 to $9, 2 little droplets on the vents. And guess what? That car smells like a spa. Any woman that's been in a spa for a massage or pampering themselves will know, hey, this is a very familiar scent, and I love it. And you get tips on that, my friends. I can tell you that. Eucalyptus has served me well. All the drivers that lease my cars use it, and I've had hundreds and hundreds of of people in my channel try it out, and they give me rave reviews on that one. So let's see who's in the house. Chicago in the building. Peter Puente, shout out to you, buddy. How are you? Freaking cold there last week. The Antarctica entered Chicago. When it hits 50 in California, people think it's the California freeze. So I sympathize, my friend. It must have been freezing cold in Chicago there, buddy. XL rules? Yes, it does. XL is, it's a hot category, my friends. For those sick and tired of X, you can go into, get yourself a minivan, get into XL. X combination on slow days, you drive on both. On the busy nights, Friday, Saturday nights, you switch exclusively to XL and you're making money. Love the XL category. That's one of the type of vehicles that I lease out. Very, very popular in the big metropolitan cities. Let's see, what else we have here. Peter Puente said, good money though. I agree with you in that. Keep filling in the training void, which Uber seems to give a low priority. Robert DeSales. I agree with you on that one, right? Now, the bottom line is they cannot actually train up the driver. You're an independent contractor, so they pretty much rely on the driver to go out and learn all the ins and outs. And as you know, you and I know, when I started out, I was watching videos. One of my big mentors is Harry, the Rideshare guy. I love the guy. I'm excited to see him on Sunday. And good guy. You know, he really inspired me to get into this business. So I think it's always good to follow a couple of people that really motivate you in the rideshare business, that you check in once in a while, check out the videos. There's great guys. Let me tell you, there's super guys out there, right? Bringing out good content. I just don't have time for some of the newbies that are just copying and copying topics and putting a different spin on it. Come, show some originality. You guys know who I'm talking about. Instead of scouting around the top 4 or 5 guys, taking their content and regurgitating it in a different way. Show some originality, bring out your own. That's what this channel is about originality. As you can see, this truck is an original idea, right? Hopefully other people will do the same. And I'm going to report on the progress, on the success of this truck, right? And hopefully people in Chicago, people in Miami get these trucks on the road. This is a big P30 step van, the classic FedEx vans. I completely gutted it and turned it into a mobile office, right? So super excited. Let's see what other messages are coming here, my friends. You have helped me a lot, and you guys have helped me too. You've helped me build this channel. You've inspired me to push further and further, and I just love all the different messages that that come out that I get daily. Really cool. Lamana Zar, good morning, Professor from Burbank Airport. Salute you, my friend. What a wonderful gentleman. Always positive, always upbeat. Burbank Airport, good. LAX, Burbank, you're going to make money right there. Burbank, Sunday, 3 p.m. is where I'm going to be with Kevin, the Apptrepreneur. I think a couple of, quite a few YouTubers are going to be at that pizza party. Should be great. I can't wait to talk to these people, shake hands, hear a little bit about their life. You know, some of them are in LA. We've never met up. I have met up with Harry, and I have met up with a few others. I've met up with a ton of drivers. And again, this rideshare truck is going to be, it's going to be awesome, my friends. You're going to just step inside. You're going to see me in Malibu. I'm going to be close to Nobu on the side there, enjoying the ocean, working in my new mobile office from the ocean, right? It's got solar. It's got 2 generators, TVs, phone, T-Mobile sync up, everything in this baby. So it should be fun. Let's see who else. Platinum Rideshare Driver, thank you for all you do. Thank you to you, my friend. I really appreciate and love you guys. I really do. Great feedback from the drivers each and every day. And I am 150% convinced that both Uber and Lyft follow multiple channels daily and read your messages. I really do, because it just takes one or two drivers to come out with the original idea that these guys can snap up and hopefully turn into reality and make our lives better, right? This is, there is too much effort and concentration around the passengers and riders. There needs to be way more attention paid to drivers, especially safety, right? Safety for drivers. I'm going to be doing several live streams from that truck about safety. I really want Uber and Lyft to pull up their pants and put a lot of money into bettering safety for drivers. This nonsense that happened in the last week, it's just, I mean, this lady being stabbed, this pregnant lady, I mean, you cannot even begin to fathom how insane that is. That should never, ever happen to us, to any girl, to any guy, right? So Uber, Lyft, listen up. You got to spend money there, big money there, right? Both racing for the IPO, of course, but this is where the intention, the attention has to be, folks. You can't just take money. You got to reinvest that money into the drivers, right? So I'm going to really be focusing a lot on live events this year, and a lot of live streams from the truck, so that you guys can meet real drivers, hear their real stories. And I truly, one of the reasons why I'm going to be doing so many live streams with real drivers from this truck is that it will get Uber and Lyft's attention, especially because I'm branded on both. I'll go out on both. I drive on both. I'm going to educate both, right? And if they want to shut me down over that, that's fine. I'll put all my efforts into the other one and make them richer. But the bottom line is that the people at Uber and Lyft really need to listen to more real stories. And these real stories are going to take place in this truck, right? Let's see, sandwich spread. We should be able to see a photo of our riders. I like that, right? Although at that point, you don't want to be prejudiced. And if you think, oh, the guy's got a tattoo or long hair, no, I'm not going to take it. But I do like the idea, but it shouldn't lead to further racism. It shouldn't lead to prejudice just because you're analyzing a photo and you might see a tattoo on somebody's face, right? So be a little bit careful there. Never judge the book by its cover, right? You want to make sure that I would say you know the person's ratings. You want to make sure that they've run a background check, just like we were subjected to a background check. Of course, Uber and Lyft would lose a ton of passengers, riders right there if they did that. But we deserve that. I mean, the other way around, that's what they're demanding from us, right? They're putting the background check on the driver. So why not the other way around? Manny Monavi, background check with you all the way there, my friend, 100%. Background check is super crucial. Yeah, it's going to cost the company a lot of money, but it's our lives on the line, you know. And the company is built around us. We're the money makers. We're the drivers. We're the people that put in the hardcore hours. Another thing I'm going to be talking about in a lot of length, my friends, is Trip. Now, as you know, I have been attacking Trip relentlessly, right? I have. And that's only because I want them to produce documents and become a better company. I am actually meeting with them in Newport Beach tomorrow at 11 a.m. I want to meet the people that I have been attacking. And one of the main reasons why I've been attacking this company relentlessly is because they don't understand spamming or advertising laws. And they're bombarding all my channels with links and links and links and links. And it takes a lot of money, a lot of time that I pay other people to clean it up. So I've made that very much known to Trip, but I am open to meet with them. I am open to see all of their documentation. And I wish every company the best, right? I wish anyone that starts a company, I wish success. So it's not like I'm trying to make this company fail. That's not my objective here. I'm trying to make the company better. So if drivers and influencers are putting their money into Trip, that they're going to get a return, that they actually are going to make money. So I'm open. I'm going in with a very, very open mind. But, you know, I had to tell them how I felt about the money that I spent on cleaning up a lot of their links in my channels, and that's just purely because they didn't set down the laws with their influencers and drivers that you can't just go and bombard and put your links in other people's channels. There are specific laws that guide it. Okay, who else do we have in the house here? Deshante brags, you mean background check on riders? Yes, exactly, Deshante. Background check on riders. If they demand it from us, we should be demanding it from them. It should never, ever happen again in the future that somebody gets stabbed, or that a pregnant lady gets stabbed, or that somebody gets beaten in the face by a couple of teenagers. I will not tolerate that. I'll keep on speaking up and bringing this to Ubers and Lyft's attention until they actually do something about it, right? Falsely reporting. I'm not quite sure what you mean about that, Mario Cedillo. If you can elaborate on that, please, I'd like to read that. Yeah, just explain what you meant on that one. Okay. So Timothy Newfart says the big issue now is the new requirement for all riders to be 18 years or older, or it was 15 years or older. But what about family accounts? Right. I made a couple of videos about this. I've seen that others have followed suit and really pushed on this whole issue with minors. You know, at the end of the day, a lot of the drivers do take minors, right? It'll probably be up to Uber and Lyft to implement some check or balances or do some stings out there at schools, etc. Probably they will. But, you know, a lot of their money comes from these kids. So do they want to alienate the parents by cutting accounts? I don't think so. So I think they're just like, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, blind eye, right? Maybe it's taking place, maybe it's not, right? So let's see. UK. My sister lives there. I have nothing to do with Uber. I just stumbled across your videos and I'm now a fan. You've got good energy. I like your attitude. Mr. Gill from UK. I send you love from California, my friend. Or if you know, we have the same temperatures at the moment. It's cold and we're both cruising towards summer, May, June, July. I will be in Europe for 5 weeks, including the UK, Germany, and Italy in summer 2019. And hopefully I meet some of the UK drivers as well, right? Thank you. I appreciate you, my friend, and I appreciate you joining this channel. Let's see. Oh, okay, so Mario Cedillo, he elaborated and said, falsely reporting drivers being under influence and getting shut down. There should be a faster process for riders getting a free ride. Look, if you get deactivated, at that moment, there's no proof. There was no blood test. There was no police report filed. Like I said in another thing, you take it to small claims court and you take it to arbitration. You will win every single day. It's a he says, she says. If the rider says he was under the influence of alcohol, maybe he didn't like you, maybe he doesn't want to pay for the trip, or he or she doesn't want to pay for the trip. But the proof is on the rideshare company to show that that driver indeed had alcohol, right? At that moment, like I said, I'm repeating myself like a parrot. There's zero evidence that they have supplied. So you will win every single day in court, small claims or arbitration, if you say, show me the proof, right? You're only guilty when you're proven guilty, and they have not proven you guilty. That's all I'm going to say, right? Sandwich spread, I think mom or dad should sign a waiver on behalf of the kids. Yeah, I like that. That's if they want to take the responsibility, they know the full responsibility. Good one. I like that. Let's see. Who else do we have in the house? Peter Muller, sorry for the question, but did you get referral money from Uber? Your videos are great. Thank you. So what I want to say is, folks, there are still many people that have signed up with Uber and Lyft and haven't used the referral code, right? What we call a retroactive bonus. If you have started driving and you have not entered a code, I show you exactly how to do that underneath the video. You should be making videos as well. You should be promoting your codes. You deserve the referrals just as much as I do. So what I always say to people, if you are signing up under a driver, right, make sure they are good at training you up. Make sure they come in with a lot of knowledge. Make sure they understand your concerns. Make sure they can help you make the right choices. That is why you sign up under a driver, right? I have so many people that have signed up under other people and saying, hey, you know what, he or she did shit for me. They're not doing anything. They're not answering my phone. They're not texting me. Can you help me? Well, you've already given that referral to someone else, right? The duty of the person you use as your referral code, that is the person you should turn to, and that person should be qualified enough, right, to help you make good choices, to help you and show you how to make money in this industry. That's why I get so many signups. I spend the time with the driver on the phone, texting. When they have issues, when something came up, when they hit a hurdle, they reach out to me and say, what do I do here? What is your suggestion here? That is real training. That is real live help and support. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, I get so many signups, right? Because I get back to everyone and I spend time with everyone until they get it, until they totally understand. Why? Because I've driven all the categories, right? I've tried out the X, the XL, the Select, the Black, the SUV, the Lux, in both. I lease out cars to drivers. I get feedback every Tuesday when we have meetings. So there's the very little stories that I haven't heard, right? And I'm a big believer on statistics and analyzing numbers, and then making the system better, right? At least for the drivers that I refer and for the drivers that I lease out to. I want to make sure that they are making at least 15 to 20% more than the average driver. Okay, so we have Karen Hip. I would like you to coach me on my retroactive bonus because I saw your promo code and tried to tell Lyft and Uber, actually Uber first, and they have refused to give it to me. So Karen Hip, it really depends on how long you've been driving and how many trips you have taken. Obviously, if you've done 600 or 700 trips, they're not going to talk to you. But if you anywhere under 100 trips, you should still be getting it. And the same with Lyft. You can text me after this live stream, and I'll show you how. So Muffin Man, hello, just now chiming in, but I've heard it's a lot easier for passengers to just create another Uber and Lyft account. So if a passenger gets deactivated for some wrongdoing, it's no big deal, right? Very good point. I guess it's super easy to reinvent yourself as a passenger or rider and get another account, and you're back in the mix, right? Because there's no social security on you. They're not making, you don't have to declare any earnings. You don't have, you haven't done a background check. So yeah, I mean, if your name is Joe Schmo, who knows? You might reappear as Roy Gindlefor, whatever the name is. I don't know how hell I came up with that one, but yeah, passengers could easily reinvent themselves if they deactivate and come out as a completely new person. I guess that's a thing that Uber and Lyft need to look into. Karen Hip, thank you. Likewise, thank you. So Joy Eyeglass, what do you think about doing Uber Eat, a wheelchair van? Can you Uber Eats? I'm not understanding your question. If you could just rewrite that for me. Doing Uber Eats in a wheelchair van or doing Uber in a wheelchair van? Just please elaborate on that. I'd like to answer your question. I'm not avoiding you. Okay. Uber is doing Uber in wheelchair access. Some vehicles that have it are set up for it. I'm sure they'll be very, very busy, right? Because there are obviously many riders and passengers out there that need it, and not every car is set up for it. So I know a guy that privately drives people that have disabilities and then need to travel with a wheelchair. And he has a private company set up. He does extremely well. That's all he does from morning to night is help people with disabilities. Shout out to him. So, yeah, I mean, he could easily take his vehicle and register in that category and make money there. Let's see who else is in the house. Any of you guys going to the event in Burbank on Sunday, 3 p.m.? Let me know. Now, my LA crowd, if you're in the house, if you're listening to this, I will announce when I'll be in Malibu in the rideshare truck. I invite you to come by for a little Q&A session. If you want to be videoed, if you want to be in the YouTube stream, if you want to have a video about you with your link underneath, this is the vehicle you can visit, and I will gladly spend my time with you. There's no charge involved. This is I'm doing all of this free. If you obviously want some professional advice, you can always go to ridesharedrivingschool.com, my channel. But generally speaking, this vehicle, which will sign up drivers and train drivers, is 100% free. There are no charges whatsoever. Okay. Also does sound like some people are venting here a little bit. James, aka Jim's Joan Wolf. Sorry you lost money, buddy. Oh, White Duck, where did you get the switches to turn on and off for the Lyft and Uber lights? Big fan. Thank you, buddy. Just text me. I'll send you the link where I got that from. I actually have a few spare, so I can gladly send you some. Actually got a lot of those things. Let's see, who else do we have? Just nice to communicate with real people. Just reading some of the messages here. Anything that I can address? So, DriveTown 13, should I consider upgrading to Uber Select and Lyft Lux in a smaller market? Your market is 700,000 people. That's medium. You know, I mean, a city like Long Beach is 300,000 people. A city like Santa Monica is 80,000 people. So 700,000 is, I would say, fairly large city. I would go to the Facebook channel of your city and put very targeted questions so that you can get real answers from drivers. The community generally always helps each other. I often go to turn to Facebook. I'll jump in this room, that room, and get some really good feedback. But medium to metropolitan market Select will be fine. And, you know, you could always drive in a combination of Select and something else, and you always want to be in Uber and Lyft. So you'll be good. You'll be good to answer your question. So Roy Hollingshead, Pep Boys. LOL. Not sure what you're trying to say there, buddy, but okay. Have you been there before? I've had several inspections at Pep Boys. I know AutoZone doesn't do it, but give me some feedback on that. Just another Uber tuber. I like that name, by the way. How do you feel with driving anxiety? How do you deal with driving anxiety? That's a great question, because I had that too when I started off, you know, when your palms get sweaty and oh my God, please don't let that app go off for the first time. And you just petrified to hear that ding, 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 and you just get tons of anxiety. My answer to that now, having taken many trips, training up a lot of people, is I can absolutely 100% assure you it is 50 times easier than it is when before you started going in, right? Before you started taking in that first trip. It is truly made for 6-year-olds. The app is designed to walk you step by step, to bring you to the person, to bring that person to a destination, and then get paid. That's it, right? If you have a fear of communicating with people, if you're definitely not the big socialite, I'm a socialite, I have no problem approaching anyone in the road, but there are people out there that just shut down, and can't talk to people. Work on that, maybe work on that weakness and get into small talk, small little conversations, and start building up that confidence, right? I've seen a lot of people like really blossom and really open up to the fact that they suddenly enjoy communicating with people, and they got better and better and better at it, right? And that it was a big breakthrough for them joining Rideshare, because it allowed them to come out of their little shell, right, and be a whole different person. So the anxiety, my friends, it dissipates. It vanishes after a while, right? That's all I can say, and you have to just trust me on that, really. But anything new to us, anything foreign to us, creates a lot of anxiety. You just have to go through the motions and come out the other side. Oh, pet boys for the switches? No. We're talking those little neon signs, and you get them on Amazon. I have probably another 30, 40 of them. They have built-in switches. You just put that into your power adapter, and there's a built-in switch on the front. But I guess if you want to buy general switches, as Roy said, you could go to Pet Boys or AutoZone. So Timothy Newfile says, Uber support is a joke. What is your take on it? Wow. That to me is one of the biggest areas of disappointment with Uber and Lyft, is their support. Because obviously they're trying to cut corners here, right? And they're moving that whole support system overseas. I know that one's in South America, in Colombia and Bogota, and I know that one is in the Philippines. Nothing against the people, nothing against the culture. I love everybody. But you got to boots on the ground. You got to know what takes place here, right? So it would cost them an arm and a leg to set up a support. Many companies that have failed with support, like Dell, they took it overseas, just didn't work out. People are very hard to understand, and the cut and paste or reading off the lines just makes us more frustrated and angry. It doesn't address our issues. So they could spend a lot of money there and make drivers much happier if they had a way more effective support center, right? I feel like there's massive, massive room for improvement on that 1-800 number, 593-7069, or the Lyft number. Whoever you reach on the other side, it could be 70 to 80% better. I'm not even saying that like going to a local hub where the guys are just getting the minimum per hour. They don't seem very motivated to help you. They just want to get the hours over and get the pay, right? And people always need to be incentivized in life. If you put in the hours, if you put in the efforts, you reach this, you get incentives. If you go further and reach this incentive, you get this, right? When people are motivated by incentives, they perform. The call center, the hubs, there is no motive, no incentive. Probably the highest position you could jump there is from a general helper, over the desk helper, or phone helper to a manager. That's the biggest step you could take up. And in between him and her, or him and him, there's 5,000 other people. So your chances are very limited. So people won't be inspired to try and do better. They will just do the bare minimum. That's what I would say. Bare minimum is what I get when I contact support. So very, very disappointing. Who's had a problem in the Disneyland area where the app locks out rider trips and only allows delivery between Disney Way and East Shuttleway? hopefully somebody else can chime in. I haven't experienced that, so maybe somebody else can answer that for you. Let's see. Oh, Pico. Yeah, I'm in Texas every now and again, in Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. I do work with fleet operators there. I have a lot of friends in Houston. I lived in Houston for about a year and a half, and I travel quite often to Austin, Texas, or Dallas. So yeah, got a lot of business interest there, and maybe I made some videos in that area. Maybe you came across me. But when will I be back out there? I'll be back out in Texas in March. Any tips for SUV drivers in LA? Excellent question. Sal Richards. A saturated market, you want to make sure, if you do get into the category of SUV, if you are going to invest into a Suburban or a Escalade like I drive, you want to make money. You want to get return of investment. So if you're just hovering on the Uber platform alone, you're not going to make the money. If you're just dealing on the Lyft SUV platform alone, you're not going to make money. First, you got to be on both, right? That car has to be registered on both. If you're signing up through an operator, make sure the operator will allow you to drive on both platforms. Beyond that, you have to get your state limo license, your TCP. Then you start making money. I explain in great length how to get private clients at ridesharedrivingschool.com. The combination of private clients, Uber SUV, and Lyft SUV in any metropolitan city, you're making bank, a lot of money, right? So I will still make in excess of $3,000 each week with SUV, just because I've taken the time to really build out a 30-day calendar. I know all the events. We're talking LA right now, folks, if anybody's listening in, but this applies to your city as well. You know, I know where the Forum is. I know where the Staples Center is. I know where the Rose Bowl is. I know where Hollywood Bowl is. I check up on StubHub. I get transfer all those concert dates. I know exactly when these events finished. If I don't know what time they end, I call up the promoter and say, hey, I got to pick someone up. When is the show over, right? When is the Elton John show over? When is the Guns N' Roses show over? When Staples Center games, ice hockey, basketball, I can follow that online. I can see when the third quarter is happening and we're moving into the fourth quarter. Time to go and position yourself. You got to know where the big crowds are. That's what SUV and Lux is about, right? The X's and the XLs will always be there, no matter where in the city. But when you're dealing and investing into SUV and Lux, you have to cherry pick your locations, right? And these are clients and passengers who are paying top dollars to order an Uber or Lux. So you got to look at venues like high-end hotels, good restaurants, Nobu, Malibu, Montage Hotel, Bel Air Hotel, right? So if you want, I'm not going to go into too much length here because I want everybody to be part of this discussion, but you can text me at 480-393-6318 and say, hey, I was the Uber SUV driver. I want to know how to make more money in LA, and we can gladly go over there. We can maybe even have a phone conversation or meet for a coffee. Reno, Nevada, Tim Odom. Shout out to you, my friend. How are you? You really helped me out when I started this trade. Just want to say thank you. And I say thank you to you. And I'm glad that my information helped you. And I'm glad that you were willing and open to learn new things and try them out. That's the big thing. People are really sometimes scared to implement, to try out new things, to move from X to XL, to move from Select to SUV, right? There's a fear involved, right? So it holds us back. We've got to break through those barriers and make sure that we embrace some of the unknowns, because that might just be the rainbow, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And it'll lead us to much, much bigger things in life. So don't close up and live yourself in fear. Go out, educate yourself. Learning is growing. Accumulating knowledge is growing. And that sounds like what Tim Odom did here. He went around, surfed around, watched videos here and there. Many good YouTubers out there. Kevin, I see him on Sunday. Harry, my mentor, a guy that I hold in the highest regards. To me, the top dog in the industry, right? I focus on business. My background is psychology and business. I studied in Europe. I grew up in South Africa. I've built up companies. I've sold companies. Handshake.com was a company I sold for an absolute fortune. So I'm now having fun, folks. I'm having fun with real people all around the country, overseas. Could get emails from Qatar, from Germany, Berlin, Sydney the other day. UK is in the house. So this is the exciting thing about YouTube. This is the exciting thing about social media, is that we're all a family connected around the globe, and we can all communicate with each other. You guys can go into this channel and read what the others are saying and see that there are people in from the UK, there's people from Reno, from Vegas, from Los Angeles, from San Antonio. So all borders have been broken. We are just like super close neighbors now, and we can communicate with each other and learn from each other. I think that's the most important here. Never discriminate, never have to hate your neighbor. We're a group, we're a community helping each other out. We are drivers helping drivers, right? We don't bow down to the mercy of the corporates, of the Uber and Lyft management. No, we the guys, hands on the wheel, making the money for them, right? So we're a family of drivers who stick together and should stick together and help each other out and better it. And Uber and Lyft, listen up. When we talk, listen to our ideas, embrace them, implement them, spend money on safety. That is the golden opportunity, my friend, that we have here with these YouTube channels, right? Is that we can express ourselves freely, and they should be listening, and they should hopefully be implementing. Let's see. What else we got here, my friends? Cool, we got 40 people in the house. But I'll be traveling all around the United States off to California in this baby that you see in the background, right? So you'll be able to follow it online and on Twitter, where I'm going to be. And just text me, drop in, come in for a drink, come in for some donuts, come in and chat, come in for a video, come in for some training. Let's meet each other. The t-shirt that I have on today, it says influencer. And basically, anyone that has built a YouTube channel with 10,000 plus subscribers, I think they can call themselves an influencer, right? I'm really enjoying rideshare driver Dustin. I think you bring some real good, real authentic stories to the table. There are some newcomers just copying other YouTubers, and if somebody puts in the top 20 tips like I do, then they will say the top 40 tips. I mean, okay, I'll let it go. I don't know how much extra value they bring in, how many years of experience, right? You can really see it like when the channel was formed, maybe 2018 or, and they suddenly are scrambling to build up a base and they're going live. There's a couple of guys out there, Jesus, I don't know why on earth they're streaming, right? Or what they're bringing to the table, or why people are following them. I don't get it. But the people, 7, 8, 10,000 subscribers and above, I think you can take them serious, right? Because they've built it out, blood, sweat, and tears, and they've walked the walk and they've talked the talk. And those are the people you should be signing up under. Those are the people that you should be demanding the help and getting the very, very best training from. And let's see. So Tim Odom, I'm in Carson City right now. I pulled over to watch this. I appreciate you. Thank you for pulling over, spending one-on-one with me and my community here, and reading the good input that other drivers are sharing, right? I can assure you that there will be a lot of live streams coming out of that truck where you're going to meet real people and listen to real stories. And like I say, I'm repeating myself here. One of the reasons I'm making this is I really want, I don't think we've given a platform for too many drivers yet on YouTube. It's just a couple of influencers and YouTubers speaking all the time, right? But to to learn how easy it is to be in a live stream like this, where you could be doing it, where you could be talking about the best spots in your city, where you could become an ambassador in Dallas, in Miami, in Denver, in Philadelphia, where you could talk about your city and share your knowledge and build your base and make live streams, right? It's not complicated, but sometimes we need that push, right? We need that little extra push by someone that pushes us over that line and says, you can do it. So the objective here, one of the big goals with this truck, is to empower as many drivers so that when they come in there and talk, they can actually see how easy it is to learn how to set up your social media and make videos. I would love every single person, Mario Cedillo, Timothy Newfeld, Tim Odom, Roy Watkins. I would love to see your channel. I'd love you to send me a link to your channel and say, hey, Rideshare Professor, this was my first video made, and how was I motivated? I was watching your live stream and I just went out there and I did it, right? Whether you grab that phone, whether you grab that tablet and do your first video, nothing and nobody should ever hold you back, right? And then brand yourself, right? Like if you see a Rideshare Professor, I have it everywhere. I have the back of the truck, rideshareprofessor.com. I have it on my business cards. I have it on my Facebook page. You've got to brand yourself. You've got to build your brand. I see that some people that I'm communicating with in this channel, they call themselves a name, whether it's called Platinum or Platinum Rideshare Driver, whatever it is. They're starting to build a brand, right? So that people recognize your name, see your name over and over and over again. And then they say, yeah, I've seen her somewhere before. I've heard of. I'm starting to gather interest here. So branding is big time. Dustin is really great. Smack, yeah, I like that. I like that thing. I have one too, but I have something similar, right? I use my my massage stick that I use when I'm driving around. This could be a Smakovich or yeah, but he has that cool little device or whatever it is that he smacks around or he issues these Smakoviches. He's great. Like I said, he's authentic. I love his videos. I love what he's doing. I just don't have very much time for some of the new guys rallying and just taking others' content and spinning it in a different way. Or if some video comes up, the next day they come out with the same topic with just a little bit of a spin. It's not as authentic as Dustin is. Dustin will talk about real topics that he experiences on the street, and he'll talk about them or talk about a news issue of the day, right? And you can connect with him, right? That's what I try to do here. I want to try to I'm branding myself more in a niche. I'm all about business, right? I'm about finding the ways to increase your earnings, finding the way how to improve your lifestyle and climbing that ladder. That is my whole philosophy and take on this channel, is that I can make your lifestyle a little bit better by implementing certain things. So, with a business degree in hand, with a psychology degree in hand, with a social media platform, we can hopefully add some good content and we can hopefully help others achieve their goal. That's why I'd like to call myself a rideshare influencer. I'd like to influence somebody else's life for the better. How? Watching videos, reading up about things, being open to new ideas, trying out those new ideas, right? And see if they bring different results. You don't want to have the same results over and over and over again. You want to say, okay, try out this. Wow, in that area at that time, that 2-3 hour shift suddenly made me $20 more. Let me try that again tomorrow morning. Wow, it also worked on that day. And so by being open, trying out new things, you're growing, you're learning, and that's what this channel is about. So Lee Higgins, is there a way to work in multiple markets, Seattle and Central Washington? I know it's much easier with Lyft. With Uber, they tend to box you in. But, a visit to the hub could always be very helpful. You might get some roaming rights. For example, if you're in LA and you're driving in LA, and they suddenly need drivers out in Palm Springs or Coachella, you suddenly get these extended roaming rights, right? So you could talk to a manager. I don't think that just speaking to a front desk helper over the counter is going to get you very, very far. You have to request a manager, or if you get on the phone and you talk to the basic Uber support, you're not going to get very far. You're going to have to ask for a manager. Very, very often they will say a manager is not available. You have to call again. You have to be persistent, sometimes 3 or 4 times, and say, hey, I called. The manager said he would call me back. Still hasn't called me back. Still hasn't called me back. I demand a manager. And work your way up, right? Be persistent. Persistence in this business pays off, right? So if you want to have a bigger roaming area, bigger driver area, it could be an adjustment on the app that they do on their end, right? But if you don't try, you will never succeed. What's up, Smarty Pants? Brazinovic asks, is the business better in summer than in winter? The bottom line is it's pretty equal, right? Obviously in summer, if you're in certain beach areas and very popular tourist destinations, a lot of people are coming in, booking hotels, it gets busier, right? But generally speaking, any business day is the same, whether it's winter or summer. People need to commute. Party nights, there will always be students, colleges, people, whether it's winter or summer, people need to get around. So my only answer to that one would be, if you are in a coastal region or in an area that is maybe busier in ski season or in beach season, yeah, there could be a fluctuation between the seasons, less trips, more trips, and that could be seasonal. And I would say that is probably the snow resorts, whether you're in Aspen, in Utah, or maybe Laguna Beach, which is super, super busy in summer because a lot of foreigners come in. San Francisco, a lot of people come in during the summertime, probably get more trips, right? And drive more foreign visitors, out-of-state visitors. So yeah, it could be the seasons can make a difference, absolutely. Dewey Fisher, hi Torsten, hope you're well, brother. Dewey, always appreciate you, always appreciate your great feedback. I did watch that live stream the other night where Dewey, I did watch it. Thank you very much for pointing that out. And then, folks, I am going to take a trip down to Newport Beach tomorrow and speak to the people from Trip, TRYP. I have bashed them in a couple of videos, and that's purely because I did a lot of cleanup work. A lot of these people or their members, influencers, and drivers were spamming my channels relentlessly, and I just got fed up with it, right? And I started looking into the company, demanding papers, and so I wish them well. I want that company to succeed. I want to see a third big player. I don't want to see a Juno that tanked, right? So I do want to see a third company succeed because it'll just improve the game for drivers. If there's more competition between companies, they guarantee you the driver will benefit. So I do want to see a Trip function, right? Very interesting angle, building this on multi-level marketing. Maybe they just didn't have the money, the billionaire investors, so they're doing this a different way. But I want them to succeed. So I'm going to visit them, and I'm going to share a lot of input where I think they could do better, where I think they can recruit. They got to have a passenger base. If they're signing up a ton of drivers, the moment the driver app goes live, a driver needs passengers to book him. So I'd like to give some really good tips to Trip as far as how can they build out their passenger base, right? And just share my knowledge that I've accumulated over the years. So I'm excited to break bread with them and have a very positive conversation. I know it'll go well. So yeah, Trip was spamming hard. Yeah, they were. And they were pissing off a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, especially like myself, because I had to hire my team, my technical team that does my social media and my marketing, have a separate little company. Suddenly they're spending all this time just doing vacuum and spring cleaning and cleaning up Trip links, and having to block these people because they put 30, 40, 50 links in your videos. My time, my money. And I said, Trip, no more. You guys need to know your spamming laws. You need to know where you're breaching it. So they've assured me they come down hard on anybody that's spamming. And there are also many trip influencers that never done a trip, and they're just telling drivers what they need to do, but they don't speak the driver language, right? In order, I think, to become a trip influencer, you got to be behind the wheel, my friend. At least take 10 trips, to talk the talk and walk the walk. You can't just talk smack out there on videos and videos and videos and say that you're an influencer trying to influence drivers if you have not been behind the wheel. That's my argument. So we'll see. I'll definitely let you know how that goes. The trip thing. I've interviewed many of my passengers. They've never heard of Trip, right? I've interviewed quite a few drivers. Yes, they have been approached by influencers and other Trip drivers. So the emphasis needs to be more concentration on the passenger, right? And then there's a possibility to make money. Let's see who else we have here. Payman Ali, how are you, my friend? Yes, we need a third option. I totally agree, right? But a third option that functions, right? And that, look, I've looked at the founder of Trip. None of his companies have succeeded. He's tried multiple companies. And he was hit with criminal charges way back where he defrauded investors. He made some money. Doesn't, like people say he made 200 million. No, he did. He made maybe 1/20th of that. He made about 10 million selling shopping.com. And that was his semi-claim to fame, right? But I will still give him a chance, and I would like to still meet him if he can lay it out, right? And just because a person fails with 5 or 6 companies doesn't mean that company number 7 can't be super successful. Many people have tried and tried again and then hit the jackpot. So I will support the journey if the paperwork makes sense, if there is a lot of emphasis on passengers being brought in. There's not going to be a problem recruiting drivers. You'll have drivers all day long, and people will drive on Uber, Lyft, and Trip if they see there's money with Trip, right? There's no loyalty across the lines where I say, hey, I only want to be a Lyft driver, only want to be an Uber driver. The most of the people that I know drive on those 2 platforms, Uber and Lyft. If you don't, I really suggest you consider doing 2 platforms, always a backup, right? So if you haven't signed up, sign up right now. The link is underneath. Reach out to me. Same procedure, upload your documents, get some really good training from me, some good help, and I'll get you on the road. Let's see who else is there. I trust your assessment, brother. Yeah. So Dewey, yeah, I'm gonna go and assess it tomorrow in 2-hour meeting, 11 till 1 o'clock. I'm gonna talk with these guys. I really want them to show me where they are on the map, what type of money they've been putting in, where they're getting the monies from, how many drivers have they enrolled, how many influencers have they enrolled, and then you can gauge and see if this could be a successful company. Viral marketing is a wonderful, magical thing if it takes off, right? You can save yourself a lot of money, and you don't have to run TV ads, you don't have to run radio ads, because you allow the internet to take on its own course. So they may be able to capitalize, as they already have signed up a lot of drivers thanks to viral, cute little videos here and there. But there's 2 components here. Well, there's actually 3 components. One is the head office, the management, the Trip company. Do they have all the legal papers, the green lights from the cities? You have to deposit $25,000 here for that license, $25,000 for this license. Every city works a little differently, so they have to have their ducks in a row up there. Then they've got the drivers, where I don't think they have an issue. They have a lot of drivers signing up through these influencers. But here, the passengers, the riders, I've conducted survey after survey, spoken to person after person. People are either enrolled as an Uber rider or as a Lyft rider. These guys will have to make a lot of noise, corporate and drivers, to attract the riders, the passengers. Then I think the company has a good shot, right? Do you think Trip will be able to keep prices competitive as a new company in the business? Well, look, they're promising 100% of their proceeds to the drivers. So the only way they really are going to make money is relying on drivers, enrolling drivers, and influencers paying $149 annual fee. But I can tell you right now, those are always those glamorous promises. 2-3 months down the line, you know it, Uber started off with 20% of that fare. They're probably taking 35 to 40%. So Trip will start taking money from those fares down the line. I just cannot see the business model sustaining itself if they are giving 100% of their proceeds back to the driver and just counting on that monthly subscription fee, right? 1,000 drivers, let's say on $200, subscription fee is $200,000 per month income. You can't sustain a company on $200,000 if you have to pay for all these licenses, to pay for a head office, to pay for management, to pay for support, right? It might get interesting if they have 50, 60, 70, 80,000 drivers, right? Then the income model looks a little bit differently. But at some stage, mark my words, they will be taking a chunk of those Trip fares. I just want to meet these guys and hear what their plan is, right? I've run several companies and sold several companies for a lot of money. So, there's certain things that I look for, certain questions that I ask to see, hey, is this promising, right? Is this going to take off? Let's see, who else do we have in the house? Roy Watkus, what do you think about Fleek, the new company? I'll give them a chance. I mean, I've just looked into them a little bit and found the name rather odd. Doesn't really appeal to me, the name, but I need to look more into that. Robert Schuller, hi from Connecticut. For 4 months, I've been driving. Always surge. This week, hardly any now on Uber. Yeah, maybe some people can share their feedback, why there's not much surge going on there. Chime in if you're in Connecticut. So, anybody else have any exciting information, news, questions to share? This video, my friends, and we're going to slowly come to an end because it's over the 1 hour mark. I don't want to make elaborate 2 or 3 hour or 4 hour live videos like some people do, because they just start talking crap and they're not sharing good quality content with their viewers. I'd rather keep it shorter and have smaller audiences and have the quality of the conversation being the highest, right? I've seen people live stream from their living room or from their bedroom with a bed unmade in the back, people yawning, lying back, putting their head forward a bit, reading a bit, because they're falling asleep after 3 hours. That to me is not a quality live stream, folks. Let's keep it short, sweet, and keep the quality high, right? So 1 hour is over my mark. I didn't want to go over that, but more just to say hi to everyone. And you're going to be seeing a lot of me in live streams from my truck, the Rideshare truck. And we're starting off in Malibu, and we will be heading towards Santa Monica, and then down the South Bay, then down into Long Beach, then down into the OC, then down into San Diego, and then we're going to go all the way up to San Francisco. That's the game plan. Tom Hake, I've seen much less surge in Miami as well. Yeah, maybe they're trying to phase out the surge. Maybe they have another plan. I mean, listen, you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, Uber and Lyft, they change their underwear 7 times daily, right? The average person should change it once daily. They change rates. I mean, you can't even keep up with the changes, right? So The drivers just have to be like chameleons, adapt, and take all those changes in, right? So I saw a great video the other day about Harry, from Harry, the rideshare guy, saying, seriously, Uber, changing your rates again? And that's true, right? Why do you need to change your underpants 5 times a day? Doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, Adam Ginsberg, want to thank you for the knowledge you put out. Been watching your videos for some time now. Thank you very much. Adam, I appreciate you, my friend. Those are the messages that I work hard for. Any recognition, any thank yous makes me happy. And if I could impact your life, if I can, in any way, if I could make any small little difference, I've done my job. And I appreciate you. Roy Watkins, God bless. Keep up the good work. It would be nice for you to swing by to Las Vegas. Yes, I go to Vegas a lot. So this pink and black truck is going to roll into Vegas. Why don't we just go up and down that Sunset Strip? I mean, up that Las Vegas Boulevard, right? Sunset Strip is over here in LA. But up and down Las Vegas Boulevard, from the very bottom, the SLS, to the Stratosphere, to the Venetian, to the Palazzo, to the Wynn, to the Venetian, to Caesar's Palace, to the Cosmopolitan, to the MGM, up and down, my friends. Love it. Love Vegas. Let's see. Adrian Brailovsky. Hi, I'm 23 miles north of Philly, busy area, never surges. Any idea? Please give him some good feedback, folks. Kauza Wazir, I work with Uber in Dubai. Shout out to Dubai, my friend. Great city, great shopping in Dubai. Amazing. A lot of my friends have been and have only good things to say. Deshante, it's a small market in Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah, but even in a small market, you can be a big fish, right? Usually in the big markets, you're a small fish. So there are certain things you can do in a small market to really stand out, right? Branding, social media, quality content, right? Dewey Fisher got to run. Best to you, brother. Chat soon. Yes, we will. We'll update you about the trip meeting. Roy Watkins, sorry, I mispronounced that. Peace, love to you as well. To all my friends out there, thank you for watching this. We're going to be doing way more discussions in the near future, and please look out for the truck. I will announce the dates when this baby goes live. So on a final note, we're on Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, the weekend's coming up, busy time for all of us, we know. Friday, Saturday night, it's a lot of money. The main thing is, if it's icy, snowy out there, drive safe, drive slow, get to your destination. You are valuable, your family is valuable, your friends are valuable, and we want you around for another 60, 70, 80 years. So drive safe, my buddies. Peter Muller, bye, Prof. Bye to you, Peter. Bye to Timothy. Bye to Robert. Bye to Roy. Bye to Deshante. Bye to Tom. Bye to Kauza Wazir. Bye to Adrian. Bye to Adam. Love and appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day.